Hola, welcome back, and El Presidente is back after quite the hiatus. We are back with none other than Tropico 5 with the latest downloadable content, which I think was also an expansion pack called Waterborne, something that is right up my alley, not only because we get to be El Presidente, leading our nation to glory, or at least restoring it to its former glory, but of course this will involve building out on the 7 seas, which is something that I've always been very interested in. The ocean is one part of the world where we haven't really explored all too much, or we don't know much about it, in consideration that we're going ahead and exploring other moons and worlds and completely foreign things to us out in outer space. We still don't know about the ocean beneath us. So let's go ahead and go do that with El Presidente there, shall we? With the campaign called Lord of the Pearl. The Waterborne campaign, where the land turns out to be too small for El Presidente's ambition. Alright, so I guess ambition is going to be El Presidente's weaponry, because I think the United States took out all our weaponry. Unfortunately, all our guns and all. Issued an embargo on us. But El Presidente is back. Been a long while since we've actually played Tropico as well. Oh, and is that a guy or a girl, or is that even a human? Who knows? But I like how you can actually see the frontal side through the mirror. Alright, no, I definitely don't want to look at her backside. But let's go create a Latina buxom vixen then, shall we? With a name like Mamacita. Let's see if Mamacita is there. I'm assuming it's not. Let's see, there should be a scroll down name. No, there's no Mamacita. Alright. Oh god, I've never heard of that name. Let's go with something really saucy, like a Marcela. We'll go with, let's see, these skills actually do count for something. They do change the way you play the game, so definitely don't want to be an environmentalist. The environmentalists really definitely despise me, very much so. So, actually, you know what? I think the foreman sounds good. I can't remember what I was in my first Let's Play of Tropico 5, but I'm assuming it would have been foreman because it sounds good. We're definitely not going to be Caucasian. We'll be a Latino, Asian or African. Definitely Latino. After all, we are in the Caribbean. And we are going to be like the rest of the South American nations, I'd say. We're not going to listen to the North American countries. Let's see. Now, none of these faces are all that aesthetically pleasing, so I'm just going to go with face number 4 then, shall we? A very nondescript. Let's choose a costume. Ooh, dictator getup. Ooh, let's see. Don't mind a bit of that. We can obviously change the colors as well. 70s. Army colonial. Ooh, angel. Okay. Steampunk. I'd love to know what the new getups are. I'm assuming maybe it's beach. I'm sure beach would have been there before. They've been updating this game quite a bit. I think it's up to patch 1.08. So that's pretty good to see. But we're going to go with, let's see. Nah, people can't take us seriously. We're going to go with, oh god, so many decisions. We'll go with the army getup. And we'll change the colors to, what's the difference between a warm black and a cold black? Okay, the warm black has got a bit more red tone to it. So we'll go with, we've got to be taken seriously, of course. Here we go. The champagne looks actually quite nice with the dark olive green. Or we can go with the grass green. Well, unfortunately there is no bright red, so it looks like she is, well, it would explain a bit of a crankiness if it was dark red, wouldn't it? Let's go with tropical orange. That's too matchy-matchy. We are the fashionistas over here, so we're going to go with the grass green. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright. Anyone that despises my fashion can get shot on the spot, or put in the new Supermax prison. What the hell? Her animation here is making all these different motions compared to this face over here, or this person over here. Anyways, we are going to go with no hat and no accessories. So, let's go. Okay. Let's get right into the game then, shall we? So, economic difficulty and political difficulty will be both at medium. Playing the mission Treasure Hunt, explore the depths of the Caribbean in search of a mystic treasure. We're going to play in Costa Melciado, which I think is what the name was. Unfortunately, I did click it a little bit too quick.
Have you heard the legend of the Black Pearl? It is a jewel of indescribable beauty. Mostly because nobody has ever seen it. Some say that the pearl has mystical powers. Others say that it is cursed. No matter. I want it. The legends say that the pearl is resting in the depths of the Caribbean Sea. A bit of luck and a couple of loaded dice won me a governor's title in the region. The resources of the 2 islands under my command should help me finance the treasure hunt. The Black Pearl will soon be mine.
Alrighty, let's go looking for the pearl.
Greetings, my good chum. I'm excited that you have big plans for this backwater island, yet mind that one does not keep invaluable treasures away from His Majesty.
No, of course not. Never from His Majesty. So it seems like we are back in the colonial era. I suggest you to start your treasure hunt with a bit of a ruse. Pretend that you are exploiting the riches of the sea for the sake of His Majesty. This should allow you to expand without drawing unwanted attention. We've got to build 3 oyster farms, and that will increase our mandate for another 12 months. And the hint is, build oyster farms on top of fishing deposits. I'd assume that is pretty straightforward. So, been a little while since we've actually played Tropico, so you have to excuse me if I'm quite a little bit rusty, but I should be good because, after all, I am El Presidente. Speaking of which, it is Australia Day today, of course.
Chap, have I got a deal for you today?
Oh, I do look forward to this deal.
I can offer you your very own trading license.
Right, so doesn't seem like that's any new dialogue, so I will refrain from reading it because every single mission you pretty much read the same stuff over and over again. So we'll go with the buy trading license from the Dutch. After all, we are a part of the British Empire at the moment. We can buy a platinum package. How much money do we have? Okay, 10,000. So gonna go with the silver package, to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be trading all that much.
His Majesty is fond of setting fire to things. He has decided to build the world's largest bonfire and needs all the wood he can get.
Alrighty, so speaking of which, it is Australia Day today. It is a national holiday, the day that Captain Cook and Australia became part of the British Empire itself. So very apt timing for me to be playing this. Let's go ahead and do roads costs actual money now? That's new. I can't remember that. But we're going to have to build a logging plantation as well. I'm going to build another road. I do like my roads straight, so here we go. This should be good. Hopefully YouTube won't be striking away too many of these videos for music and all. Seems like there's lots of oil spills. After all, we are playing a lot out on the water, so they would have paid a lot more attention to it than the other time before. So let's go ahead and actually build that wood plantation, which is over here. I think we've got lots of trees and all around here. That should be pretty much perfect. Now let's go build those oyster farms as well. Maybe a couple of houses wouldn't go too far astray either. So let's see, where exactly are we? We've got mines, ranches, wharves. Let's have a look at all this new stuff. I'm pretty sure if we go over to maybe military, yes, here it is, the Supermax President, which was actually free in a downloadable patch. So there's some new things as well. Here you go, Waterborne. Alright, so these are all the new things that we have. A nuclear submarine, offshore officers. So yeah, it seems like it is pretty cool. Lots of seasteading things at least. Doesn't seem like we're going to be having any houses at least, but pretty cool nonetheless. We have an office though. So, oyster farms it is. And I'm not quite sure why we've got these like buoys around here, but okay. Okay, there's one. Let's go build another one. How much do they cost? 3,500. So, you know what? Let's just build one. And I think it's automatically built, really. Oh, we've got like all these sharks around here. They're definitely not oysters. I'd assume they're sharks. They look like tadpoles, really, but pretty cool nonetheless. So, let's get El Presidente back to work. We're going to speed things up. Hopefully, people will start to work. Here is our buxom vixen, who doesn't seem to be very pleased that I have been clicking on her. Alright, so, is a ship coming in? I heard a ding. Although there has... I'm not sure if the actual ding does mean there's a ship coming in or not. Or does it just mean that it's a new... No, it must mean the ship's coming in. The ship comes in from quite a distance as well. Very impressive. Usually they come in like pretty close to you. So that's different. We've got a couple of these ships now. So how efficient are they? That is the question. And what are they doing? They just drop it off, I guess, over to the dock, don't they? Which is actually quite useful. So you don't need teamsters now. They just drop it right off at the dock, and I'd assume that hopefully an oyster's just coming over here. Here we go. Pearls. Oh, pearls. I thought they hunt oysters. But anyways, let's go ahead and upgrade their effectiveness. So we got Fruity de Mer. The effectiveness of restaurants of Fruity de Mare, I'd assume is how you'd say it. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a financial crisis at the moment. So let's not read too much into all of that.
We need more scientists to think important thoughts and discover new stuff.
Yes, new stuff. Unfortunately, Evita can't name the new stuff because it hasn't been discovered yet. So we're going to build a library where we'll receive a couple more tasks. Can't complain about that, of course, because we are playing the colonial era. We have a, what's this called? A paddle wheel boat. A steam paddle wheel boat, I'd assume, I think is what it's called. Oh, skies have definitely turned grey as well. Much for the worse. And we've also exported quite a bit of money. So, you know what? Let's maybe build that new library. So, I have to remind myself what all these things are over here. Don't remember the dolphinarium being here either. Might be a couple of other new things I haven't really caught on with. You can obviously build a wharf with fish, to get fish at least. The crown sends you another 5,000, so let's actually go build that library, which is here, no. Research and education, that's where it is. And it generates us research points. I'm going to build that right over here. Yep. I'm pretty sure there was an upgrade that if, depending on how many houses are in the vicinity, the more upgrade points you actually get, or research points you get. So that's something to keep in mind. So the research buildings have to be close to buildings. I'm pretty sure it was a library that was that building. What do we have over here? We got a, are you serious? I built a banana plantation instead of a, no, it's not even a plantation, is it? It is a logging camp, isn't it? Oh, I'm silly. All right, we're gonna have to build that right over here. There we go. Also build a road to connect it all up. Make it nice and straightforward. Now, it is a rather apt time that we are playing this. It is Australia Day, and the Australian Prime Minister last year, for one reason or another, decided to reinstate a very, very archaic, I don't think archaic's the right word, but anachronistic, I think is the word that I'm trying to think of.
Instructed me to present you with this letter of commendation for your achievements in the name of the Empire.
Let's go with the Treasury subsidy for the time being and build more oyster farms. But he has instated the Dames and Knights honours, which is very, very weird of him. He is a monarchist, which wouldn't really surprise anyone, I'm sure, if they knew much about the Australian Prime Minister. Let's go back over to Waterborne and go to the oyster farm. And requires a fish deposit. So there must be another one around here. There is. And right there. So, of course, me being a Republican, I believe not the American type of Republican, the political party, but a Republican as in believing in duty to your nation,
Good show,
being a patriot,
now,
and of course...
His Majesty trusts you. He requires you to ensure the well-being of the royal swine.
being chosen by the people to lead the people instead of having a head of state being a member of the British royal family. So His Majesty recently bred a new type of swine in this royal pigsty. He personally tends to their needs and plans to start feeding them the most pristine pearls, which you have to provide. Export 5,000 pearls, which should be pretty easy with 3 oyster farms. Hopefully, anyway. So the effectiveness of restaurants, glass-bottom restaurants, and taverns is increased by 10. That doesn't really increase the effectiveness of the oyster farm, though. Neither of the upgrades do. I love how I built a plantation for bananas when I had no intention to, but I guess it's another form of making that moolah. So we're going to go with farm upgrades, ranch upgrades, and mines, which will actually research that really quickly. I should have got on top of that really at the start, really. So let's go ahead and check out this mission.
Must be every Tropican's ultimate goal. But you can't expect us to fight a revolution on an empty stomach.
That's right, Evita Vasquez. You are my type of lady. Independence should definitely be every Tropican's goal. Tropicans can find food wherever they can, mostly by liberating it from your farms. However, a much better way to provide food for your people is to build a grocery and supply with food. This also provides higher food happiness and thus increases your popular support. So we are going to have to build that grocery pronto. Well, maybe not so much pronto considering we're losing money, so we're gonna have to wait up a little bit, I'd say. This ship's got, or at least that sailing boat's got a bit of way to travel, but oh well, all in good time. There's a bit of pop-in with those boats, because there's, when you zoom out, you can barely see them, and when you come in, out they come in, or out they come.
His Majesty wants to exchange wood for sheep. Wood for sheep, anyone? Well, if you don't want sheep, then I guess you'll have to take money instead.
Okay, wood for sheep. I'm assuming that's some kind of popular culture reference, though.
Crates of colony supplies, we found a sickle. Now we...
Yes, alright. So he's gonna... Penultimo is going to keep on pestering us about all these upgrades, which does get quite annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do. If only there was a way to turn them off. I don't think there is, though. I'll have to check out the options if there is, but I'm assuming that there is not. We're gonna have to build some...
lucky day. I traded all my money for a magic compass that will show us the way to the Black Pearl. We only have to close our eyes and wish with all our heart.
Alright, I met a really strange pirate at the docks who goes by the name of Captain Joe. After a couple of pints, his tongue loosened and he told me about his magic compass that was supposed to lead him to the Black Pearl. He wasted his life trying to find it and he has given up. This is a great chance to dedicate our lives to the same goal. At least we won't be living out lives in vain. So neither of these missions are really timed, so we can really procrastinate and build up our own town so far of Tropico. Make it an island empire. At least Tropico, supposedly, according to the law of Tropico, believe it or not, there is a bit of storyline to it. It is a bunch of, well, it's an island nation, a bunch of islands.
And published it under a pseudonym. It was an autobiographical story about 2 men on a...
Right, that's another upgrade. So of course, like if that, when we get to the new upgrades, I'll obviously listen to what Penultimo's got to say, but free building, research to money, yeah, I don't see anything that's new at the moment. I'm sure there are new things here that we can research. You'd hope so anyway. So I'm not quite sure if this is an actual DLC, the way that they've marketed it. If it's a completely new DLC or an expansion pack. I'm pretty sure it's just downloadable content. Which is nice, because hopefully there will be an actual expansion pack, like a proper one.
As you know, it is your will alone that keeps Tropico together. Without you,
the entire island would crumble to dust and be lost forever.